Hello everybody and welcome to F05 round number 21 for Brazil. Hang on just 2 seconds. Haha! I should subscribe because, you know, but yeah. There we go, right, that is cool. Right, welcome everybody to round number 21 of this action-packed season that we've had here in F05. As you can probably see, I'm not TK. I'm Owen. I'm going to be commentating tonight's race. In place of TK, so yeah. But yeah, I am just waiting for my invite to the server. But yeah, let me know how you are in the chat. It should be working. If not, then I've buggered something. Yeah, hopefully it should be working. You can tell I'm new to doing this, but yeah. Let me just see if it is working. Right. I want to see that. I don't know, is it working? I don't think so. I don't know. You know, let me just watch it through the link, see if it is working. That is the wrong thing. That's because that's Abu Dhabi. I'm watching the wrong thing. I'm doing the wrong thing. It's this one. Sorry. Sorry about this. Right. I'm just seeing if the chat is active. I honestly do not know. Probably not. Right. Right, let me just close that. Close that. So yeah, we are racing at the. I need an invite. Right. Let's see who is ready. We are racing at the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace. It is a 4.3 kilometer track, 2.6 miles in length, and it has 15 turns with I can't remember. I need to do my practice. I think it's like... Yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that once we do quali. Oh, come on. Oh, that's why, because the game's froze. Good. The game has frozen. Well, we're off to a good start. We're off to a great start, chat. Everybody, we're off to a great start. But yeah, in the meantime, whilst I have issues with F1, as always, but yeah, why has the F05 registry not been put in? Probably why nobody's here. But yeah, you know, I'm just gonna fudging do it right. Actually, I can't. God's sake, I just meant to do his job. Right. We'll get to that in a minute. So, as the game loads up. So yeah. Just gonna wait for the game to load up. I did have this prepared, by the way. It's just yeah. These things happen when you're streaming. When you're all set up and ready, I also need to close that because I don't need that. Now I'm getting pinged out because I'm not online. Yeah, I'm coming. Sick. Hello. I'm just. Yeah, my game crashed, so just loading it back in. Yeah, but I'm loading it back in now. Alright. Okay. Just getting into the home screen. Yeah. LLYK in square brackets, then Owen. Yeah. Cool. York. Not in game. Actually, hang on, let me just check. Oh, no, I have now. Right. Bye bye. Right. Sorry about that, chat. Anyway, as we were talking about, so if you're wondering what the standings are like, here they are. Driver standings. El Pado leads the way from McLaren with 220 points to his name. And I can't really read who that's. Oh, I think it's JVR in the Ferrari. Apologies if I get that wrong. Who is in second place. So it's quite close in the driver standings, but I do feel like El Pado 2 may secure the drivers today, if he hasn't done already, because I can't remember. Constructors wise, McLaren lead the way. I think they can seal the championship today if they get a strong result and if they outscore Ferrari, or if Ferrari don't score any points. So yeah, that is the standings, and we are going to get straight into qualifying. Then it's going to be a short qualifying for the race for Brazil. So now I'm going to head into the session as everybody is selecting their tire allocation for this event. And yeah, I don't know if YouTube chat's working. Currently haven't had anybody, as I don't think the stream has been posted. But yeah. I don't know if the stream's actually going to get posted. I don't know. Right. Here we go then. Oh, I don't know why I went to that. I need to go there. Right. Okay, right. Jula. Sonophone. Apex Joe. Probably needs a little bit pulling down a bit. Hootie Pete. Bombser. English Dave. Patterson. And El Pado. Right, I've got one person who hasn't updated their telemetry. Which honestly is fine. I can deal with that. As you know, I need to hide that, and I also need to we'll put the lap data on. Right, as the first people out then in this qualifying session, it's a short quali, is the AlphaTauri. No, it's not. As the cars are starting now to head out onto the track, I will put the track map on just so I know where people are. But yeah, if you like this new, how does everything look on the stream? Does everything look okay? I can also add things just by a click on my mouse button. But yeah, as we are going to go and look at the Mercedes of Jula. Looks sick, mate. Cool. Thank you. But yeah, welcome to round number 21 here from Division 2 in F05 eSports. Mercedes could not got any front wing. So the Mercedes already lost a front wing somewhere. Okay. In that case then, we will look at the... Is it Williams? I think it's a Williams. Yeah, we'll look at the Williams of Apex Joe. And we will go on board with the driver as he goes to start his lap. And it's not working. Cool. As he comes through turn 1 and in through the center S's, down and in towards turn number 4. And it's at 17.5 first sector, which is pretty good. We'll go on board for the whole of the lap. Through the S section now, a little bit wide, and then into the first of 2 hairpins, the right third gear mainly, and then the left, and then up the hill in towards the tight hairpin of, if I remember, as they now head up and in towards turn 13, and then through turn 14 and turn 15, flat out to the line now, as Apex Joe is going to be the first one to set a lap time, as SimHub has crashed, as always. And Apex Joe sets a 1:10.5 as a banker for everybody to try and set, as Hoodie Pete goes first, followed by Bonza in the Aston Martin. I need to sort that out. Why is that not working? Oh, why are you not working? Have you crashed again? Oh, God's sake. Why does nothing go my way? SimHub has crashed. So I think I'm probably going to have to go with just the game. Right. But that's fine. I'll just have to do that. As we're going to go on board with Vapor as he's on his lap. Yeah, apologies. I was going to have SimHub and F1 TV overlays all up, but SimHub doesn't want to play nice, so yeah. We're going to have to pass on that to see if I can get that fixed by next week. But yeah, as the AlphaTauri of Vapor comes around the hairpin to start at the end of sector 2 to start the final sector, and he's at 54. He's coming in 54.2. Runs a little bit wide though, as SimHub decides to play. Yeah, okay, cool, nice one, SimHub. Right, as we now come up to the line, and Vapor stays P10 with a 1:12.1, and I think that's it for the first runs, unless some people are going for some other laps, as the Alpine is of Son of Romeo. So he just finished a lap. I think he's finished a lap. But yeah, who do you think is gonna come out on top in this qualifying session? Here from Brazil, we've got a Mercedes of that was Jula, who went P9 with a 1:10.1, and we've now got Dave and Gramter. Apologies if I said that wrong. But yeah, we've got them who are about to start the laps. As we're going to ride on board with the Alfa Romeo for this lap. I'm going to let you listen to the lap, so and Gamtra in the Alfa Romeo ends up going P3 with a 1:09.4. Well, the admins are saying don't expect many comments. Oliver's going to race. Oh, okay. That's fine. But if people do join, then that's also fine. It's also great. As I think we've now got a Alpine of Apex Joe who's on an out lap. Going to start his second flying lap. It's also a Ferrari of Ghost Reaper up to line. Sets a 109.8, goes P9. As Julia's going to box. Apex Joe is starting his lap. As he now comes through the center S's. Could have attacked that curb a little bit more, but I'm sure he will do that for his final run maybe. Down the back straight in towards turn 4 we go. That was very clean through there. He's now coming up the hill into the S's. 6th gear through this first left-hander. Keep it nice and tight. And then into the hairpin. 3rd gear, try to use as much curb as you possibly can without going out of track limits. Gives you a good run into the long left-hander. And then up the hill into the hairpin. 2nd or 3rd gear. Probably took that a little bit too low of a gear. Turned in a bit too much, probably compromised his run. Down the hill. In towards turn 13. And then up to line, a little bit of snap of oversteer on the exit. That's probably going to compromise his time in the final sector. As he comes up to line, opens up DRS, and I think he's backed off. So we won't know him. Deer's on an in-lap. Smithy is on an out-lap. But so is the Aston Martin of Bomzer. So let's look and see how he gets on. As he starts his second push lap. He's got a fresh set of soft tyres on. The 91 Aston Martin. As he now comes down the centre S's and then down the back straight in towards turn 4. With also, we'll keep an eye on Smithy as well for his lap time. If he makes any improvements. Yeah. Looks like Smithy could have got a tow off the Williams driver. There, as Patterson goes P1 with a 109.1. But we're going to keep our eye on Bomzer. As Dave is coming up to the line. He's invalidated, unfortunately, though. He would have... as they're now going to go back to the Aston Martin. He's about to set Sector 3. Sector 2 is purple. He's 2 tenths up. Coming out of turn 13. Gets a good exit. Through turn 14. And through turn 15 we go. Down the back straight. DRS wide open. The big letterbox runs out of deployment up to the line. But still goes P1 with a 108.9. And Bomzer takes a provisional pole with 6 minutes to go in this session. As we've got Mercedes of Jula about to start a lap. We've also got Smithy, who's had to keep an eye on. He goes P4 with a 109.3. And then Hoodie Pete is coming out the final corner. And is he on a lap? He's on the mediums. But no, he bowls back into the pits. As we're going to go on board with the Williams of Sean, and we're gonna see how good of a lap he can do. As English Dave goes P1 with a 108.8, but we're gonna keep an eye on Sean to see how he does. But we may switch to Apex Joe. In fact, we are going to switch to Apex Joe. Up to line. He's run out of deployment. Stays P13 though. He improved by 2 tenths, but yeah, as Bomzer will be pitting. The Mercedes of Jula actually, up to line. Sorry, I keep flicking through these. Action. He goes P8. Now back to Apex Joe, who... Oh wait, no, it's Sean. Oh, mine. My bad. Apologies. Up to line. He improves to P6. With Alfa Romeo of Gamtree about to start his lap, and the AlphaTauri of Fruity also to start his lap. Ghost Reaper's also going to start his lap. And then the Haas, which is English Dave, he's probably going to be on an in-lap. Feel free to go have a chat with Patterson Brothers. I don't know if we can hear him. Okay. Right, we're going to go have a chat with the Patterson, with Patterson. So, yeah. Hello. Right, I have a question for Patterson. How do you feel? How did you feel that that last run went? Apologies for that. You could not hear Patterson. Apologies. But yeah. Very quiet. Oh, for God's sake. Right, and a question for Dave. You're currently provisional pole position. Do you think you can find any more time in your lap?
Probably not. Maybe sometime in the first sector, but nah. I think that's me done now.
Cool. Right, that's all I have for you guys. So I will enjoy your final laps, and I will catch you guys back in between quali and the race.
No problem.
Right. Sorry. Sorry, lads. Oh, that's better. Maybe they're on max volume. I think the game was just a bit too loud on board with 30. As we're now gonna... Is Son of Romeo on a lap? Yes, he is. He's up by a 10th. Through turn... Is this turn 12 or 13? I can't remember. I think that's turn 12 and then turn 13 is a little kink. And then 14, 15. But he's backed out of his lap. As the Aston Martin, as Vapor has Ego retired. As Bomzer's going to start his lap. And actually Gamtra's going to finish a lap. No, he's boxing. Ferrari or Ghost Reaper boxes. I'm just trying to see. There was an Alpine. But that's... Is that Hootie Pete? Yeah, that's Hootie Pete. Who's on an outlap. So we will go in and check on with the Alpine drivers shortly after they've done their runs. As we're going to have a look at Hootie Pete. As there are yellow flags in sector 2. That's just... I think that's just people going slowly, getting out of people's way. As Hootie Pete starts his lap, down into turn 1, you're going to brake at the 50. Down into about 4th or 3rd gear. You want to try and use as much curb on turn 2 as possible. As he heads now down turn 3, out the centre S's, opening up DRS, down in towards turn 4, picking up a little bit of tow from the McLaren of El Pato. As he now comes through turn 4, as Gamtra in the Alfa Romeo retires. He seems that he doesn't have enough time to do another lap as Hootie Pete comes through the uphill double right-hander into the hairpin of turn 7 or 8, I can't remember, through turn 9, and then into turn 10. Lovely, that's nice and clean, through the downhill of turn 11, and then final braking point of the lap, turn 12. It looked very good indeed, and now it's just power, it's just foot to the floor now, up and to the line. He got a good run, and I think he's currently opening up DRS, using the shortest run to the line. What's it going to be? It's going to be a 1 minute 9.4 for Hootie Pete, who puts in P10. As we're now going to look at the McLaren of El Pato. Can he take pole position away from Dave? As his teammate Patterson's going to come out, maybe give him a little bit of slipstream, give a little bit of a tow from the McLaren teammates. As that's a great one. As we now go on board with Pato, as Patterson actually doesn't give him the tow down the back straight. But sector 1, done and in the books. It looked pretty clean. As we now head up to the S's in sector 2. As again, keeping it nice and tight. That's what you want to do. Into turn number 7 and into turn 8. Through the long left-hander of turn 8 and into turn 9 and 10. And then through turn 11, Patterson didn't make it to the flag. Neither did Ghost Reaper. Sean's finished. The Mercedes Alpine of Son of Romeo and Apex Joe finishing in P13. As Pato comes, he's going to get a toe off his teammate maybe, but his teammate's in AI mode. So as Pato comes up to the line, crosses the line now, and only improves to P3. So English Dave has pole position unless the Aston Martin can improve, but I don't think he is improving. Unless Fruit Sniffles... No. So it is English Dave who has pole position then for the Brazilian Grand Prix with El Pato in P3 and Patterson in P5. But crucially for the Constructors' Championship, both McLarens have out-qualified both the Ferraris here in Brazil. So yes, that was an eventful qualifying. I'm just going to change that, and we are now going to hop up and chat with the Alpine boys, and we're going to see what they have their thoughts on qualifying. Hello.
Hello.
How do you think qualifying went for you, Son of Romeo?
Could have been better if I got the setup perfect.
Was there anything missing from your setup that maybe hindered your lap time?
Not enough front wing.
Owen, sorry.
Hello, Hoodie. Question for you. How does it... do you think P10 was the best you could have got in that qualifying session?
Yeah, sorry, I've just come back. I just went for a quick toilet break. But yeah, I think it could have been better. I think I had a bit too much understeer into the first couple of corners. First sector for sure could have been better. I did try a quick run on mediums. I don't know if you spotted that, but yeah, we did like a purple middle sector, but yeah, we didn't do too well in the other two, so that was a fail. But I don't know, it's sort of like the story of my qualifying sessions, really, is sometimes it's just towards the midfield bit.
Well, anyway, I'm going to let you guys crack on with getting your strategy up, and I will speak to you maybe in a safety car.
Your thing. Cheers, man.
Yeah. Speak to you.
Right, we're now going to go... no, we won't. We'll just get straight on into the race. Oh, I need to get rid of Hoodie Beats. There we go. Right. We're here then. The strategy could maybe be a medium hard. Some people may start on the softs and try and get a good start with the tyres. But yeah, we have 36 laps ahead of us from the Brazilian Grand Prix here in Sao Paulo. It's actually called the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. But yeah, we are waiting for everybody's getting their strategies done and getting the amount of fuel. So yeah, if you are in the chat, let me know. Are McLaren gonna do it here in Brazil? Let's find out as the formation lap gets underway. And as it looks like Dave is starting on the softs with the Aston Martin behind, starting on the hard tyres. What are both McLarens starting on? So there you go. Both McLarens start on the soft tyres, wanting to get a good start, try and gain as many places as they can over their rivals Ferrari, who are just behind them in the championship. But they are both starting on mediums, with the Aston Martin of Bomza and Gamtree in the Alfa Romeo both the only ones going for the hard strategy, trying to go long in this race. As you can see, the possible race strategies: medium to soft, pitting lap 21, or hard medium, so they'll be pitting about lap 19, lap 20 on from those hards, going on those mediums. As Dave is taking it nice and easy on the formation lap, as we now head round to the starting grid, where we will get this Sao Paulo Grand Prix underway here in F05 Racing League for round number 21 of the season. A season where McLaren could become Constructors' Champions if Ferrari don't score any points, or they get a low point score. As there's the confirmation of the race strategies yet again, as Dave lines up on the grid, as we're now going to go to the last place driver of Vapor, who's going to be the last one to join the back of the queue, as people failing to park their cars in the correct positions, as we're now going to head to the 5 red lights for the Sao Paulo Grand Prix for round 21 of F05 eSports Racing League. And it's lights out, and away we go. Bomzer gets a great start. He doesn't. Bomzer bogs down a little bit on those hard tyres as Patterson goes on the grass. Was that Pato on the grass? Pato's on the grass. As now Patterson goes into second place with El Pato having an absolute shocker of a start, and is now down and into P5 of this Grand Prix, which McLaren do not need. They need a high result. They don't need to be battling with the Ferraris. The Ferraris need to stay where they are, or even do worse for McLaren to win the Constructors today. As we now head up into Sector 2 for the first time, Patterson gap is 8 tenths to Dave, who leads the way, as it looks like there is some side by side. No, everybody's keeping it nice and single file on this first lap. As you can see, there's now a 2-stop of a medium soft Anoma with hard medium, but the McLaren of Patterson already straight up into P2. The gap is 1.3 seconds, so may need to think about that, as Hoodie Pete may be looking to see if he can close up to the Williams driver as Cern Merck, as English Dave leads the way on lap 1, followed by Patterson, Bomzer, Fruitsy Sniffle, El Pato, Ghost Reaper, Smithy, Son, Hoodie Pete and Jula in the Mercedes, as he goes a little bit deep into turn 1. But we're going back on the battle with Hoodie Pete. We're seeing Hoodie Pete and the Williams apologies, for the battle for P8. The gap is 3 tenths, but Apex Joe is actually closing in on the Mercedes, who didn't really get a good start, as Patterson is kind of struggling to get his tyres up to temperature. You can see on timing ladder, English Dave has got up, and Bomzer, he's had a spin. Bomzer spun on the out of turn 7, and he's now dropped to 13th place, which has caused El Pato to get up into P3, and it's now a McLaren 2-3 double podium here in the early stage of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, as Hoodie Pete is very close to looking at a move on Son. He's using the battery as they now come down in towards the start finish line. They're going to go side by side in towards turn 1. Hoodie Pete still deploying the battery as he now comes down into turn 1. Who's going to be late on the brakes? Hoodie Pete's going to send it up the inside into turn 1. They're going side by side with Sean through turn 2. As now through turn 3, who's going to get the DRS? I think it might be the Williams driver that picks up the DRS. Yes, it is. Oh no, they've both got DRS. Never mind. Who's going to have more show line speed? Hoodie Pete to the inside of the Williams into turn 4. And Hoodie Pete up and into P7 here from Brazil. Here from Sao Paulo. As well, that was a great move from Hoodie Pete, getting the power down and getting up and into P7, which is more points for the Alpine driver. As now we may look at a battle for P5, just one place, just a couple of places ahead of Hoodie Pete. As the Alpha Tauri of Sniffle and Smithy could get DRS. Patterson leads this train. He's the only one that doesn't have DRS. Down in towards turn 1, and Al Pato, are they going to switch the cars around at McLaren? Let's find out. It looks like they are, as Pato gets up into P2 and sets the fastest lap as he does, as the McLaren swap places, but El Pato goes deep. El Pato goes wide into turn 1, and he ends up cutting turn 2, and the Ferrari of Ghost Reaper gets thrown into P3. Our McLaren bottling the Constructors' Championship here during this season. They've come into this race a good few points ahead of Ferrari. All Ferrari need to do is finish either P9 or P10 or not in the point at all, and McLaren have to have a good result here to secure the Constructors' Championship. As we now look a bit further down the field, there's a bit of on the mini map. You can see Apex Joe trying to have a look past Gamtra. But we're focusing on this main battle here. Patterson, 2 seconds, as Dave is 2 seconds to the good in the lead of this Sao Paulo Grand Prix. But everybody behind, this is a battle for P2, which involves about 8 cars, all the way from P2 to P9, as Ghost Reaper in the Ferrari is going to have a look down the inside in towards turn 1. Yes, he is. He's going to pull out. Going to go to the inside of turn 1, and the Ferrari is up and into P2. McLaren are 3-4, as Hoodie Pete set the fastest lap of the race. In the meantime, Gamtree gets past Apex Joe to pick up the fight for P10. We'll focus on this battle as Patterson gets back past Ghost Reaper with a little bit of fighting. Ghost Reaper goes a little bit wide off the track, and that lets everybody through as Ghost Reaper plummets down the positions down to P7 behind Hoodie Pete, as we're on lap 5 of 36. As now Hoodie Pete's going to have a look up the inside of Fruit Sniffle, but doesn't quite make it, and that's going to invite Ghost Reaper in the Ferrari to really get back past Hoodie Pete in the Alpine. Hoodie Pete decided to have a look up the inside there, and it didn't quite work out for him, as now we head down and in towards the final corner. Let's see, is McLaren's going to swap again, and is Pato going to find his braking point this time and not overshoot it like the last time they swapped the cars around? They are swapping the cars around again, putting Patterson fighting to try and defend as much as they can. Pato this time doesn't go deep. Patterson does go a little bit deep though. Is that gonna... That's going to cause Smithy to get a better exit compared to Patterson. Opening up the DRS. They're going to go side by side down turn 4. Down towards turn 4 even, as I should say. And the oh my god, there's a spin. Pato's been spun round by, it looks like it could have been his teammate, but Fruity Sniffle in the AlphaTauri is up and into P2, and he's got a good gap as Ghost Reaper, the Ferraris and McLaren of Patterson are battling away here. We've got a yellow flag in sector 2, and Hoodie Pete, oh no, it's Summer Romeo, no, excuse me, I got that mixed up, in the other Alpine, who was spun out of turn 6. Anyway, back to this battle, as Ghost Reaper, as Fruit Sniffle, who now has a gap of 1.5 seconds, as that's Hoodie Pete going off in the background, as now this train, led by Ghost Reaper now, as Patterson's going to get the DRS then, off the Ferrari, and so will everybody else until Apex Joe in P10, who doesn't have the DRS. As heading into turn 1, Patterson didn't look to go for the move, but it looks like the soft tyres are starting to wear out a lot. As Smithy's now going to have a look down the inside in towards turn 4 on Patterson. Down the inside he goes. And he gets up and into P4, but Patterson's going to get a switchback out of turn 4, and Patterson's back up into P4. They're going to go, and the Ferrari decides to back out. But the Alpine of Hoodie Pete tries to test his waters on the Ferrari, as he's going to send it. No, he's not. He's going to be patient, and he's going to wait for that DRS, that drag reduction system, will give you an extra boost down that main straight, as we now. As Smithy now tries to get a good exit out of turn 12, gets a good exit. He's only got 25% on his battery though, and let's see, Hoodie Pete. Oh no, Patterson, is he going to defend? But Hootie Pete does have the DRS as well. He's using the battery. They're going to go 3 wide into turn 1, and Patterson loses out 2 places to Hootie Pete up into P4. Double overtake by the Alpine driver. That is an absolutely astonishing move, as Sean Mack in the Williams has spun, and we've got a safety car here on lap 8 of this Sao Paulo Grand Prix. But Hootie Pete, round of applause for you, my friend. What a great double overtake into turn 1, and you're now up into P4, and now all the field will back up. Will now come back up together as El Pato gets a 5-second time penalty for ignoring the yellow flags. But that is something that Dave, the safety car, is something that Dave didn't really want, as Hootie Pete has to slam on the brakes as he's a bit over the delta. So are we going to see the soft runners maybe box for a fresh set of tyres, as the tyres must be pretty worn? I think you can see Dave has 70% battery. I mean, yes, he's charging because of safety car now, but he hasn't really had to use much battery in these opening 8 laps. And is Dave going to pit? Yes, he is. Is anybody else going to pit? Is Sniffle does not pit. Ghost Reaper does pit. Hootie Pete, does he pit? Yes, he does. So does Smithy. No, Smithy stays out. Patterson boxes. Let's see how the Haas team get on. That looks like it's a good stop. Good stop from the Ferrari boys. From Ferrari. Let's see how Alpine do. Hootie Pete selecting the soft compound tyres. He's getting held by the Williams. That's probably going to cost him a bit, as the Williams goes for a set of soft compound tyres. So Dave gone to a medium. Ghost Reaper on another set of medium. Hootie Pete on a set of soft. Jula going to try to go to the end on the hard tyres. We'll see how long that, see how far in the race he can get that. As Patterson's going on mediums, Gramtra's on mediums, Apex Joe's on softs, Bombs are on mediums, Son of Romeo also on the softs. So both Alpines are now on the soft tyres. El Pado going to the mediums, and Sean also on the mediums. So let's go catch up with the man himself, Mr. Hootie Pete. Hello, Alpine drivers.
Hello.
I'd like a question for Hootie Pete, if he's available.
Yeah, go. I'm in.
What a move that was into turn 1.
Oh my god.
How do you feel that was? And the safety car got deployed straight after, so that helped you.
Yeah, absolutely buzzing, mate. Buzzing. That was reminded me of Hakkinen, Zonta, and Schumacher overtake at Spa 2000. I love that.
Very good.
What a move.
Now, I've seen you have gone onto the soft tyres. I'm guessing you're planning to make another pit stop at the latter stages of the race.
Yes.
Yeah, we're planning to go mediums again.
Okay. And final question for you, Hootie. How has this safety car kind of saved your race, or has it kind of ruined it?
I don't know. We were doing all right on the mediums. I think this was sort of the right time for the soft runners, but yeah, I think we'll just have to see how it goes again. If we get another safety car, I think we'll be all right.
Right, and a question for Son of Romeo. You had a little spin, so
yes.
I'm guessing that safety car has kind of brought you back into this race.
Yeah, it helped a little bit. I don't know what happened. I think I might have changed down one too many gears, and just caused the back end to come a bit unstable. But yeah, that's definitely helped me out a great deal.
Yeah, and you've also gone onto the Red Wall soft tyres, so I'm guessing you and Hootie are doing a similar strategy down
I was
at the French-based team.
Yeah, I heard that he was going softs, and I thought it was a good idea.
Right, well, anyway, I'm going to let you lot get off and enjoy the safety car restart.
Cheers, man.
Right. See you later.
Right, here we go then, chat. Let's see if English Dave as now English Dave becomes the temporary safety car before he gets underway. When is he going to go? I think he's gone. No, he's still slowing the field down. That was class. As now English Dave gets underway. He actually caught Vapor a little bit napping, who did not box under that safety car, but behind Hoodie P already at it on those soft tyres, as Ghost Reaper goes a little bit deep, which makes Hoodie P go up into the P3, and now Jeweler is going to maybe have a look at Ghost Reaper in the Ferrari. Down towards turn 4 we go. Patterson, is he going to have a look? But no, the Apex Joe is going to get past Gameter as Vapor gets a 3-second time penalty for track limits. As everybody's kept it nice and clean, as Patterson tries to close in on those on the hard tyre runner of the Mercedes. He looks very close as Hoodie Pete is challenging for P2. I didn't catch that. He's into P2 now. He's overtaken Vapor on those worn medium tyres. He's trying to get out of the way of everybody. There's a little Jesus Christ. There's a little bit of contact between the Ferrari, as now he's going to go very wide, and Jeweler in the Mercedes got through. It's all chaos, and that's chaos as the Williams of Sean Mack went off, and Apex Joe's off, and so is Vapor. It's absolute carnage back here as we head back now to the front of the field, and it looks like it's all kicking off. Apologies for changing drivers all the time, as Bomzer goes a little bit deep into the first corner, and that allows Patterson to slip through, and so does the other McLaren of El Pado 2 as well. But now El Pado and Son of Romeo are going side by side. Great camera angles, I must say, game. But yeah, El Pado 2 has got past the Alpine, so one Alpine had an absolute stonking start, and the other one struggling a little bit to get the tyres up to temperature, as it looks like Ghost Reaper's going to try have a look on the Mercedes. It definitely is mad racing here from the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pace circuit here in Sao Paulo. For Sao Paulo Grand Prix, we've had one safety car restart so far, and some excellent moves, especially from this man here, Hoodie P in the Alpine. As he has now got a 3.6 second gap to English Dave and a 2.4 second gap behind to the Mercedes of Jeweler, who DRS should be enabled at the end of this lap, as Hoodie Pete sets the fastest lap of 1:11.669. As DRS has been enabled, so let's see, is the Ferrari of Ghost Reaper on a quicker medium tyre? The Mercedes on the hard tyre doesn't really get a great exit, but as the Ferrari opens up the DRS, he's going to pull to the inside. Yes, he is going to go to the inside of turn 4 and gets the move done right before the braking zone and behind. I think both McLarens swap places as well, as Patterson thinks that El Paso was the quicker driver, or is the quicker driver at the moment in this race. But yeah, as the McLarens need to work together now to catch back up to the top 4, to P3 and P4. But the fact that the Ferrari, as Fruity Sniffle in the Alpha Tauri, gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. He's down in 12th place, as Vapor is, the other Alpha Tauri is in last. We're on lap 13 of 36 of the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. Here, as English Dave sets the fastest lap of 1:11.5. Let's see, can Hoodie Pete beat that? No, he can't. As it looks like both McLarens are just going to try drag each other along. As the Aston Martin may look for a move down the inside into turn 1, but decides to stay behind and try to get him into turn 4. As we're going to see, is the Mercedes with DRS going to get past the Ferrari of Reaper? We're going to hide the overlay for you, as it doesn't quite get past, as we now head down and into turn 6, as doesn't look like Bomzer was able to get past the Alpine into turn 4 after trying to have a little look into turn 1, but it looks like the Alpine the McLaren seem to be off the pace. But is it, or is the Ferrari not quite got the pace that it thought it could on those medium tyres? As they are catching up to Hoodie Pete on the softs, as the gap between HooDP and Dave in the lead has grown to now 4.5 seconds. As now everybody is going to have DRS, I think. Definitely, Mercedes didn't have DRS actually, I don't think. As let's see what happens between these group of cars, which is both McLarens, the Alpine of Son of Romeo, and the Aston Martin of Bonza. Let's see, is anything going to happen down into towards turn 4? Let's see, the Aston Martin looks like to be going side by side with Romeo, but decides to back out again, as the Alpine you see in the bottom of your picture didn't get the best of exits. As we're now gonna look from the back of Patterson's car, we're gonna see how these two are going to unfold, as the Alpine may be struggling on the softs by now. They are 6 laps, his tyres are 6 laps old, so he could be getting close to that 25% range, 25% tyre wear, where you start to lose a little bit of grip, and the medium tyres will become their own. The hards will take a couple of laps as Pato has spun or gone backwards into the final corner, which has caused him to drop to P9 as Vaporum gets another penalty, and yeah, for track limits, as I think, let's see, Aston Martin trying to go up the inside, trying to get a good exit out of the center S's, which he is managed to do. The Alpine is going to have DRS this time. It should be slam dunk easy for the Aston Martin. And is the Ferrari going to have a look on the Alpine? No, not quite, but the Aston Martin does get ahead of the Alpine of Some of Romeo in towards turn 4, pushing the Aston Martin up to 6th, and the second Alpine into 7th. As Dave up front is having a nice quiet Sunday drive, but he is increasing the gap on HooDP, who again the soft tyres may be going off for the Alpine driver. As we're going to keep an eye on this battle to see, it looks like the Aston Martin is just gonna miss out of this. And there's actually the Ferrari of Smith. He's going to get down the inside of the Alpine, so the Alpine definitely starting to struggle on his tyres now. On lap 17, as Some of Romeo in the Alpine gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings here from Brazil in Sao Paulo, as the Ferrari looks to be a little bit low on battery, so it's below 10%, as it looks like Patterson has caught up to the Mercedes of Jula, and the gap is now 0.2 as they now head into the second sector, where Patterson looks to be strong. He's running obviously running quite high downforce compared to some of the other drivers here, so he's going to be very strong through the tight and twisty section of sector 2 as he now heads out of turn 12 and into the final to start lap number 18, as Ghost Reaper and HooDP are going to go side by side down in towards turn 1. Ghost Reaper gets to the inside, but HooDP tries to go to the tries to switch it back, but loses out on the position. And further back, Patterson's going to have a look up the inside. There was a little bit of contact with the Mercedes driver as they're going to go side by side through the center S's, and Patterson gets ahead through turn 3, and he's going to get the DRS, so he's going to get the extra pace over the Mercedes driver, as the Mercedes is low on battery, so obviously he had to drain a lot of his battery to try to stay ahead of the McLaren driver, but the McLaren driver of Patterson decided to just send it up the inside of through turn 3, knew he'd get the DRS, and Patterson moves up into P4. Next up for him is HooDP in the top, who is 4 seconds adrift from the McLaren driver, as Apex Joe in the Williams has pit for a fresh set of mediums, and he has come out in P13. So it's now just a fact of, is HooDP of when and when is Hootie Pete going to pit? We know he's going to go onto mediums, as both Alpines are going to go onto the mediums, maybe, to see off this race. As Patterson has already nearly dropped the Mercedes. But let's see. Patterson didn't really get a good exit. The hard tyres may come into their own now as the Mercedes driver opens up the DRS, pulls to the left hand side. He's going to have the inside line in towards turn 4, but gets the move done way before the braking zone. But Patterson tries to switch back a yet again, and he gets the switch back absolutely perfectly into turn 4 yet again on through that corner, and he gets back up and into P4. Now he's just going to try to run away, but his medium tyres may start to go off over the next few laps, which is going to give the Mercedes on those hard tyres the lasting advantage and be on the better tyres, as Fruit Sniffle has boxed for the hard tyres, tried to stay ahead of Apex Joe, which he was able to do, as it looks like Hootie Pete could have a look on Ghost Reaper down in towards turn 1. Let's see. We're going to go right on board with the Ferrari. We're going to look back as Hootie Pete goes down the inside in towards turn 1, and he gets ahead into... That's a great camera angle. Nice one, game. But as he gets ahead in towards turn 3, as we go to turn 3, apologies, as El Pato was battling with the Alfa Romeo, but El Pato is going to have the DRS as they head down towards turn 4. The Alfa Romeo is going to send Pato round to the outside, long way round, but he gets the move done way before the braking zone, and he just tucks in, as you can see, Pato on those 11-lap-old mediums will start to go off soon, as English Dave in the lead now has a 3-second time penalty for multiple track limits. That's a big thing. Is Hootie Pete now just going to try and deploy his battery to try and get within that 3 seconds of the Haas driver? No, he's going to pull into the pit lane as he's had enough of those soft tyres. Let's see. What's he going to go on to as the Aston Martin of Bonzo managed to get past Jula. As he goes off the track, that may have been a warning, as Hootie Pete has gone onto the hard tyres to see how this race is. Ghost Reaper in P2 has got a 3-second time penalty as well for track limits, as Patterson's 5 seconds behind. And the Mercedes and the Ferrari are going to go side by side through turn 6 up the hill. No, they're not. The Mercedes decides to back out as they head through the twisty bits of Sector 2. And now we're going to go to the Alfa Romeo of Gamtree, who's looking to pass El Pato. Also, we are going to, if there's another safety car, we'll try and talk to as many drivers as possible. But yeah, as it looks like the Mercedes is going to have a look round the outside in towards turn 1, and also the Aston Martin up ahead tried to have a look on the outside of Patterson. Doesn't quite get it, but the Mercedes does get past and back up into P5. As also Gamtree gets past El Pato, but El Pato's going to get the DRS down the back straight, and it's all kicking off with the Aston Martin not trying to get past Patterson, as people try to hold their ground, as the Mercedes manages to hold off the Ferrari in towards turn 4. But yeah, it looks like if it's now just a matter of when, as Sniffle gets another 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But yeah, it's now just a factor of when does Dave decide to go into the pit lane. Is that going to be now? No, he's going to go out for an lap as Vapor gets another 3-second. Is the Ferrari? No, the Ferrari's going to get through. But let's see. Is Is anybody going to put in? Anyone going to box? The Aston Martin opens up the rear wing. As he's going to pull to the outside towards turn 1. Patterson's going to let him go round the outside. As he knows he's going to get the DRS in towards turn 4. Try to get a better exit compared to the Aston Martin. That's a little bit held up by the Aston, taking the tyre lines through turn 2. But he's going to get a better exit, which means Patterson's going to get a better exit. As they now head down in towards turn 4. Is Patterson going to have a look down the inside? He is. Is he going to get the move done though? Not quite. As he sticks to P4, but the Aston Martin gets a shocking exit out turn 4, and then he goes side by side in towards turn 6. We go Patterson round the outside into a place where you wouldn't really overtake in real life as it's so tight. But Patterson is able to get the move complete and moves back up into the podium spaces. As Ghost Reaper taking a little bit of a spin out of turn 9. Turn 10, apologies. And now this could invite Patterson. He is within 3 seconds, so if the race was to finish as it is, he would finish outside the point. He would finish probably P6 or something. As nobody's decided to box yet off their medium tyres, so maybe they're trying to go to the end on their mediums as the Aston Martin gets back past the McLaren. It is now basically just DRS games. Maybe to the checkered flag. But further back, it looks like Hootie Pete is wanting the other drivers to make a pit stop. So Ferrari wasn't able to do anything, but the McLaren and the Alfa Romeo are quite close behind each other. As the Alfa Romeo is going to try up the inside, not quite. Wasn't able to commit. The same as what Patterson managed to do 1 lap ago. As Dave might he might box this lap, but he's probably going to wait a couple more laps and maybe go for the soft compound tyres. Back for the battle for P3. Bomser in the Aston Martin is now within the DRS, so this is now a battle for P2. There has been some fantastic driving from our Division 2 drivers here today. I could have been one of them, but I decided to commentate last minute as TK unfortunately couldn't, as the Alfa Romeo of Gumtree decides to box, and so does Sean. As we got a VSC, as I think Fruity Sniffle took a little bit of spin and has got no front wing. So we've got a virtual safety car, which it will slow the pack down as Vapor gets a drive through for speeding under the VSC. As now everything is slowed down a bit. Everybody can relax, have a break, take a breather, try to stay under their delta, and see if how long this virtual safety car will last for. As English Dave, as Fruity Sniffle retires from this race, he's retiring the pits, so that won't upgrade it to a safety car or anything. The AI will probably drive it out on the track, but it won't cause any issues. Hootie Pete will get a podium. Okay, is that what you're predicting, admin? As we're still under VSC. As the Ferrari of Ghost Reaper is boxed, and so has the Aston Martin of Bomser, as Patterson and the other Ferrari don't pit. So could this be a strategy blunder for Ferrari? We saw it way too much, as Apex Joe gets a drive-through penalty, and we're back under green flag running, as El Paso gets a 3-second time penalty as well for multiple warnings. As back under green flag running, DRS re-enabled, and the Ferrari of Smithy straight away going around the outside of Patterson into turn 4. They're still going to go side by side. Smithy on the hard tyres. The hard tyres will probably be the better tyre at this moment in time. As they're going to go side by side, is Patterson going to repeat what he managed to do a couple of laps ago? No. The Ferrari knows what Patterson will do at turn 6 and decides to defend that one well, as Jula in the Mercedes gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings, as Vapor gets another 3-second as well. But away from that action, it's McLaren versus Ferrari. It is exactly like how it was in a couple of years ago, a few years ago even, in probably the mid-2000s, as I think Hootie Pete there. Oh no, it wasn't Hootie Pete, never mind. That was my bad. Apologies. I didn't see who got a penalty then. But Patterson, as the Ferrari of Smithy, pits off of his hard compound tyres, so Patterson will probably go, as Smithy gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane, as also Jula pits as well. Hootie Pete up to P4, as both McLarens now are trying to hold the ground. I don't know if at this moment in time for McLaren will win the constructors. If the admin, if Alex can double check with that with me, please. As Sean sets the fastest lap in the Williams, but he's only a P11, so he will not get that point, that extra point. As the Mercedes of Jula comes out side by side with Jula down in towards turn 4. The Mercedes driver just coming straight out of the pits on those fresh soft tyres. A little bit of contact. Let's go wheel to wheel up turn 6. As it stands, McLaren win the constructors. Okay, as Jula goes round the outside of turn 6, but it gets a little bit slow as the Williams comes down the inside in towards turn 7. As it's going side by side, it's so close, but it's great racing between the Mercedes and the Williams. There was a little bit of contact, but they kept it all fair. No one was left facing the wrong way or off the track. As nobody has the DRS, so yes, as it stands, McLaren, if the race was to finish as it is now, they win the constructors. But as you can see, if I go to I don't want telemetry. If I go to stops, oops. Sorry, apologies. As you can see, the top 3 haven't stopped. They've stopped once, but the rest of the field has stopped twice. And Hootie Pete, as it stands, I believe, will be leading the race, because I think you lose about 22 seconds or something in the pit stops. So, I'll keep doing it. Sorry, apologies. But yeah, as it stands, Hootie Pete will be leading the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, and he's going to the end. So he does not have to make another pit stop. As I'm going to go back to the tyres. But yeah, thank you, Lemonade, for the great comment. As it looks like El Pato, as Patterson pulls into the pits then. Here's one of the top 3 already pitting. And let's see, Hootie Pete is into the podium position. So as it stands, Hootie Pete is going to be on the podium if he can keep it that way. But the McLarens are going to the softs, as I predicted earlier. As I thought earlier, they were going as long as they could to try and get the softs to go to the end of this race. And beyond that, faster tyre, Smithy gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. As we're actually going to join this battle then between 3 cars, an Alpine of Summer Romeo, and the Mercedes of Jula and the Williams of Sean. As the Mercedes going to have a look down the inside in towards turn 4, but as he gets brakes way too, it goes a bit early on the brakes. And that's going to allow the Williams to try go for the switchback, but doesn't able to get the move done for the Williams. As this is the only track battle we've got, as Patterson has already caught up to the back of this train. So as it stands now, McLaren won't win the championship, and it will go to the season finale in Abu Dhabi next week. As that's a Ferrari. Smith, was that Smith? Wait, no, it's an Alpha. My bad. Apologies. I thought it was a Ferrari. But yeah, I think McLaren have done a Ferrari strategy here. As we're now gonna, apologies. As we're now down and onto lap 30, they go. The Mercedes is going to have a look down the inside in towards turn 1. The Mercedes gets the move done into turn 1, moves up to P7, and the Williams going to have a look up the inside of the Alpine as well. He's going to go rally outside in towards turn 2, going to get the DRS off the Mercedes driver, and now they come down in towards turn 4 as Patterson, on those fresh soft tyres, gets himself past the Alpine as well, who's really struggling on his tyres, or struggling for pace around here, as Patterson tried to go around the outside of the Williams as well into turn 4, but decides to back, went a little bit too late on the brakes, had to go a little bit deep, which compromised his line. As Son of Romeo gets in the Alpine, gets another 3-second penalty, and so does Vapor. But out front, starting lap 31. We've got 5 laps to go. Once Dave crosses the line next time around, so we've got 6 laps. Dave is running quite well as Hootie Pete, as Pato pits for the second time, leaving Hootie Pete 15 seconds behind Dave. I don't think Dave is going to pit. I think he's going to try and make the one-stop work. He started on the softs, he's gone to the mediums. McLaren have definitely bottled their chance of winning the championship today. So it will go to the final round in Abu Dhabi next week. So make sure to catch us then next Sunday, same time, 8 p.m. Roughly, for the season finale in Abu Dhabi next week. You don't want to miss it, as it looks like as Hootie Pete is in a strong P2, but the Ferrari on the softs 1.6 seconds behind. He's gaining as back here with as Jula. He's been spun round by Sean McWilton882 as Sean has just decided to cut the track massively. Didn't get any warning or a penalty for that. But he's gained a substantial amount of time after that incident, so I'll see what the stewards say about that. Back to the battle for P6 though, as Patterson is now 7.5 seconds behind the second Ferrari as Smithy, as we will keep an eye on the battle to see if Ghost Reaper can actually close in on Hootie Pete. But maybe the softs are already starting to go off. The hards take a good 15 laps maybe to start noticing some tyre wear. So the hard tyres for this stage in the race, definitely the better race tyre compared to the softs. Especially those 6-lap-old softs for Ghost Reaper. As the second Alpine didn't manage to get the exit that they needed onto Patterson to try to leapfrog him, but he's got DRS again. Down towards turn 4 we go. He's got the DRS wide open. He's actually decided to shut the DRS mid-straight as El Pato is going to go down the inside into turn 4 on Sean. Set to purple sector 1 as well. So it looks like Pato is going for the fastest lap of the race as we head now down in towards sector 2. McLaren is trying to fight back after having to make a second pit stop after pitting under that one and only safety car that we've had for those medium tyres, and then put again for the softs. But I think that if they went for hards under that first safety car, yes, they would have been slow, but I think they could have actually gone to the end, as the Ferrari of Ghost Reaper is going to go around the outside of Hootie Pete. Battle for P2. Hootie Pete apologies, he's trying to hold on with all of his might. How much battery does the Alpine driver have? We don't know, but he's got above 20% as the Ferrari's going to send up the inside in towards turn 4 on the soft tyres. Hootie Pete, as they have a little bit of contact, I think, as Hootie Pete holds on to P2, and Ghost Reaper in the Ferrari just losing out, just being very cautious on the brakes, I think, or got squeezed out by Hootie Pete. We don't know how it happened, but I'm sure the stewards may have a little bit to say about that. We'll see if that gets reported by Ghost Reaper after the race has concluded. But yeah, as Dave heads on to lap number 34 of 36, we've got 3 laps to go. He's not boxing now. He has absolutely dominated this race. He hasn't led every lap, or has he? I can't remember. As I think the Mercedes of Jula made a little bit of a mistake in the middle sector. But back to the battle for P2. Are we going to get a repeat of maybe a Sergio Perez, Fernando Alonso finish, as I think that is the Williams of Apex Joe getting out of the way of Dave in the Haas, so he is now a lap down. Here we're going to get a repeat of Fernando Alonso versus Sergio Perez going on to the last lap. Not on the last lap yet, but in the latter stages of this race. Are we going to get a similar one to what was voted as the FIA Action of the Year 2023? Are we going to get a repeat here in the virtual world in F05 League Racing, eSports League Racing, whatever it's called, round number 21 from Brazil, from the Sao Paulo Grand Prix, as Hootie Pete struggling on his tyres, it looks like, but also Ghost Reaper may start to struggle on his tyres soon as well, as it looks like the Alfa Romeo driver of Gramtra is actually quite close to the Williams, but we're focusing on the battle for P2. Ghost Reaper has the DRS wide open. I don't know why we're looking back, but he's too far back, and Hootie Pete holds on to P2 for now as they head on to the penultimate lap of this race. As Dave, the gap's closed to 11 seconds. Dave is losing a substantial amount of time. He's losing a good couple of seconds a lap. But Ghost Reaper in the Ferrari tries to have a look round the outside of Hootie Pete. Battle for P2, but gets squeezed out by Hootie Pete. There wasn't really a car's width there to go around the outside. He tried to force his way around the outside, so he couldn't quite make the move work. And Hootie Pete survives in P2 for another lap until that back straight as the battle. As the Alfa Romeo gets tried to have a look on the Williams, as you see in the mini-map in the bottom right, but didn't quite get it. But anyway, as Dave goes on to the final lap of the race, Hootie Pete trying to defend as much as he can on Ghost Reaper. There's a yellow flag in Sector 2. I think the Alfa Romeo actually had a whoopsie, but the Ferrari, Hootie Pete has got a terrible exit out the final corner, and that's going to invite the Ferrari to maybe have a look round the outside in towards turn 1. We're going to get a repeat of Fernando Alonso versus Sergio Perez, which happened in the real life Sao Paulo Grand Prix this year. On the final lap we go, and there's going to be a battle for P2. The gap is between 0.3 of a second for the Ferrari. It has DRS wide open. Hootie Pete's ran out of battery. He's going to the grass again. Tried to force his way around the outside, but again, doesn't work. He needs to try to look for the inside, but that's his last-ditch attempt. In towards turn 4. They went. Into Sector 2 we go. You can't really overtake into here. His last-ditch opportunity is to the line. All he needs to do is get a good exit out of turn 12, which get him a good run onto up to the line, and maybe try and nick P2 off Hootie Pete right on the line. But it's been absolutely dominant by the Haas driver, by Dave. I was in the Haas car last week in Mexico, and I finished P2 after spinning a couple of times, but Dave has done one better, and he comes to win in Sao Paulo. He wins round 21 of the season. As we go back to the battle for P2, is Hootie Pete going to hold on to the line? As we go to the line, it's going to be side by side. Oh my god, that was actually close. 13 thousandths of a second in it. But Ghost Reaper had a 3-second time penalty, so Hootie Pete secures the P2. As Ghost Reaper finishes P3, Bomber P4, both Ferraris outscoring both McLarens, which means the championship fight goes to the final round in Abu Dhabi. With Smithy finishing P5, Patterson, both McLarens P6 and P7 respectively. Sean in the Williams finishing P8. Son of Rome, both Alpines scoring pretty decent points here from Brazil, and Gramta picking up the final points of the race. But yes, that was an amazing race as the final driver crosses the line. But yes, what do you think of that race? That race was absolutely insane. So let's go and talk to the man of the day.
Do something too, Jack.
Mr.
Yeah,
Dave.
I think so, yeah.
Hello, Dave. How do you feel about that race win? You told me before the race that you would go one better than me, and you did exactly that.
It just feels nice, doesn't it? Just got to keep the car on the track and keep the tyres in a nice window. And
I was like, are you going to pit? And you decided not to pit. You decided to make the one-stop strategy work, even though Hootie Pete in the Alpine was closing rapidly in those latter stages, but it was just too late for him to close you, and you secured the win.
5 more laps and he probably would have caught me. They were literally dead at the end, 70%. Literally dead.
But yeah, Patterson, you and Pato both kind of did a Ferrari strategy, and you were running in quite high positions, but you decided to pit quite late on for the softs, which only caused you to finish P6 and P7.
Yeah.
Which means the championship battle will go to the final round in Abu Dhabi. Are you on for the challenge?
It will indeed. Yeah, the softs felt stronger, soft felt harder. So we wanted to put it back on and and go for a place there, but no, they did well to stay in front.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to go talk to the second place driver, so I'll catch you guys in a bit. Right then, Hoodie P, what a drive from you today. How are you feeling after finishing P2 today?
I'm absolutely buzzing. That's my first league race podium ever.
Me, yeah, you got me on my seat there on that final lap. You and the Ferrari decided to do try recreate the Sergio Perez and Fernando Alonso final lap from Brazil.
I'm so glad you got that, because I was trying to do some weird line. I was thinking, I was channeling my inner Fernando Alonso line in that final corner or so. So I'm glad you got that.
We did. But yeah. And Son of Romeo, you got a little bit unlucky there with your tyres not getting up to temperature and then dying off quite quickly.
Yeah, but I thought they'd last a bit better than what they did, being on the medium, but yeah, it didn't work out in the end.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Well done, Hoodie Pete, for getting P2 and your first proper result in a league race. And I will
Congratulations.
It's been a long time.
and I will catch you guys soon.
See you soon, mate. Thank you.
Right, let's go talk to the Aston Martin driver of Bomzer. How do you feel like that race went for you today?
No, it was alright. After that second pit stop, coming out the pit exit, I got a bit of wheel spin and broke my front wing. So that was frustrating, otherwise I think I could have snuck a podium there.
Yeah.
Because I got a cheeky 3 second as well at the end, which... so close yet so far.
Yeah, well, you tried. But
yeah, hopefully there'll be a podium soon though.
Yeah, you got one final round in Abu Dhabi next week, so good luck to you then.
Thank you very much.
Right, that is where this round's going to end. So thank you for joining me, and I'll catch you next week for Abu Dhabi. Peace.